ओम चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं गदामह्यं कदापि चं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीतापकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं शरणगुणान्वितं सजीवं साधुवैतं साधुभूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णवारा सवगौरवता श्रीविशाखाकृतांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुते देवी नमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिन्धुरेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे सर्वश्रेष्ठ शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य Hare Krishna. Let's move to Hare क्यों नहीं आ रहा? मैं क्यों भूल गई कि ये कैसे हटाते हैं? How to end this?
पूजा आई थिंक सबसे ऊपर वाली टैब में क्रॉस बना हुआ है जो वो पूरी खुली हुई है।
नहीं अरे ये स्टॉप शेयरिंग करना था मुझे, दूसरी स्क्रीन शेयर करना।
अच्छा।
सॉरी, मेरे को वो टैब ही नहीं दिख रहा। आई एम रियली सॉरी। तो लेट्स गो टू द कौन सा बताया आपने?
17 and 18 is finished, I think so.
Second chapter, na?
78 is also finished.
I think 19
start we have
17
to start.
Yeah. Because that was a very big one that I read last. Your connection was
हमने
not
last
proper.
time 3 कर लिए थे।
हाँ, तो वो 19 भी कर लिया होगा मुझे लगता है।
Let's see if we will read it, we'll come to know.
Yeah.
ये किया है हमने? नहीं किया है।
1 minute.
हाँ, ये किया है।
You did it. This one Anuja read it.
Okay.
Anuja read it.
19 कर लिया, 20 करना होगा।
Yes. So then 20.
Okay. Start. Who will read it?
I will
read it. Now your internet is good.
Yeah. Na jayate mriyate vad kadaschin nayam bhatva bhavitta va na bhuyaha ajo nitya sasvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane saratre. Sarire. Okay. 1 minute. I'll just. Okay. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Very nice. Purport. Quality Qualitatively, the small atomic fragmental part of the Supreme Spirit is one with the Supreme. He undergoes no changes like a body. Sometimes the soul is called the study or a kata sata. The body is subject to 6 kinds of transformation. It takes its birth from the womb of the mother's body, remains for some time, grows, produces some effects, gradually dawdles, and at last vanishes into oblivion. The soul, however, does not go through such changes. The soul is not born, but because it takes on a material body, the body takes its birth. The soul does not take birth there, and the soul does not die. Anything which has birth also has death. And because the soul has no birth, he therefore has no past, present, or a future. He is eternal, ever existing, and primeval. That is, there is no trace in history of his coming into being under the impression of the body. We seek the history of birth, etc. of the soul. The soul does not at any time become old. As the body does, the so-called old man therefore feels himself to be in the same spirit as in his childhood or youth. The changes of the body don't affect the soul. The soul does not deteriorate like a tree, nor anything material. The soul has no byproduct either. The byproducts of the body, namely children, are also different individual souls, and owing to the body, they appear as children of a particular man. The body develops because of the soul's presence, but the soul has neither offshoots nor chains. Therefore, the soul is free from the 6 changes of the body. In the Katha Upanishad, we also find a similar passage which reads, Na jayate mrityate va vipasisin nayam kutasin no bhavata kaschis ajo nitya saswato yam purano na anyate anyamane sattare. The meaning and the purport of this verse is the same as in the Bhagavad Gita. But here in this verse, there is a one special word, vipasita, which means learned or with knowledge. The soul is full of knowledge or full always with the consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is the symptom of the soul. Even if one does not find the soul within heart, where he is situated, one can still understand the presence of the soul simply by the presence of consciousness. Sometimes we do not find the sun in the sky owing to clouds or for some other reason, but the light of the sun is always there, and we are convinced that it is there for daytime. As soon as there is a little light in the sky early in the morning, we can understand that the sun is in the sky. Similarly, since there is some consciousness in all bodies, whether man or an animal, we can understand the presence of the soul. This consciousness of the soul is, however, different from the consciousness of the Supreme, because the Supreme consciousness is all knowledge, past, present, and future. The consciousness of the individual soul is prone to be forgetful. When he is forgetful of his real nature, he obtains education and enlightenment from the superior lessons of Krishna. But Krishna is not like a forgetful soul. If so, Krishna's teaching of Bhagavad Gita would be useless. Therefore, 2 kinds of souls, namely the minute particle soul, Anu the Atma, and the super soul Vibhu Atma. This is also confirmed in the Katha Upanishad. In this way, Anur Aniyan Mahato Mahayan Atmasyo Jantor Nihato Guhayam Tam Akruta Pasayati Vita Soka Tatya Prasadan Mahamanam Atmana. Both the super soul Paramatma and the atomic soul Jivatma, or situated on the same tree of the body within the same heart of the living being, and only one who has become free from all material desires as well as laminations can, by the grace of the Supreme, understand the
glories of the soul. You got pause? Hello, Anuja, Vidya?
Yes. Hello.
So it was pause. Oh, my internet connection. So have you read that?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I will read it
last
again.
line. Last
Yeah.
line.
Last year,
Yeah.
as it will be disclosed in the following chapters, and Arjuna is the atomic soul, forgetful of his real nature. Therefore, he requires to be the enlightened by the Krishna or by his bona fide representative, the spiritual master. Very nice.
I hope this paragraph must be clear to everyone. What they are.
Yeah.
Very,
We did
very,
it last time
very.
also. We did it this
No,
time
no, no.
also.
It was not the same. It was the same thing in the last paragraph.
Oh,
Okay.
Ki
Okay.
bhai
Because actually, last class I was not that much attentive because of the
हाँ,
internet issues. I couldn't get it. Okay.
अनुजा उसमें भी यही बता रहे थे कि हाँ इसमें बताया ना दो तरह की आत्मा है
दो तरीके की, हाँ उसमें
तो
था, हाँ.
हमारे यहाँ भी वही नेचर है बट हम फॉरगेटफुल है हम भूल जाते हैं भगवान को पास्ट
Okay.
फ्यूचर प्रेजेंट सब याद है तभी तो अर्जुन को ज्ञान दे रहे हैं कि तुम क्या करके आए हो क्या है क्या क्यों उसके सवालों के उनके कंफ्यूजन का जवाब दे रहे हैं दैट इज व्हाई अर्जुन पूछ चुका है तो बोले मुझे पता है तुम्हारा मेरा रिलेशन कई जन्मों से है तो मुझे याद है तो जो हम उस परमात्मा का अंश हैं हाँ बट हम जैसे कई लोग कहते हैं ना कि हम जाके भगवान में मिल गए इट इज नॉट हम भगवान में हम उनका अंश है तो हम उस गोलोक धाम या उस किसी फॉर्म में रहेंगे हम उसका अंश है बट हमारे भी वही स्वभाव है बट फर्क इतना है कि हम भूल जाते हैं हम मेटेरिस्टिक बॉडी में आते हैं हम मेटेरिस्टिक बॉडी नहीं है हम मेटेरिस्टिक बॉडी में है हमारी आत्मा वो ग्रो करती है उसकी जरा व्याधि मृत्यु मतलब एक बुढ़ापा ये सब स्टेजेस से जाता है शरीर बट आत्मा कांस्टेंट एक जैसी है पर जो भगवान का शरीर है भगवान में हमें फर्क है कि भगवान में की बॉडी आत्मा शरीर वो हमेशा ही एक फॉर्म में है वो कोई बचपन या जवानी उसमें उनका एक ही यंग एक ही फॉर्म है ही इज कांस्टेंट फॉर्म विच वी डोंट हैव हम मेटेरिस्टिक बॉडी में आते हैं और हमारे अंदर चेंजेस होते हैं सो डू वी नीड टू डिस्कस मोर ऑन दिस आई गेस इट्स वेरी क्लियर क्लियर हम सुनते आए हैं हम एक आत्मा है आत्मा कभी नहीं मरती सो लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट अनुजा यू विल रीड
या वेदा विनाशिनम नित्यम य एन मजम व्ययम कथम स पुरुषः पार्थ कम घातयति हन्तिकम्. O Parth, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Everything has its proper utility, and a man who is situated in complete knowledge knows how and where to apply a thing for his proper utility. Similarly, violence also has its utility, and how to apply violence rests with the person in knowledge. Although the justice of the peace awards capital punishment to a person condemned for murder, the justice of the peace cannot be blamed because he orders violence to another person according to the codes of justice. In Manu Samhita, the law book of mankind, it is supported that a murderer should be condemned to death so that in his next life, he will not have to suffer for the great sin he has committed. Therefore, the king's punishment of hanging a murderer is actually beneficial. Similarly, when Krishna orders fighting, it must be concluded that violence is for supreme justice. And thus, Arjun should follow the instruction, knowing well that such violence committed in the act of fighting for Krishna is not violence at all. At any rate, the man, or rather the soul, cannot be killed. So, for the administration of justice, the so-called violence is permitted. A surgical operation is not meant to kill the patient, but to cure him. Therefore, the fighting to be executed by Arjun at the instruction of Krishna is with full knowledge. So there is no possibility of sinful reaction.
I hope this is also clear
Yeah,
कि हम
very,
शुरू से
very,
बात
nice.
करते आ रहे हैं कि जो
Yes.
भगवान लड़ने के लिए बोल रहे हैं कि यू फाइट, तो तुम उस जगह खड़े हो तो तुम फाइट करो, इट इज योर ड्यूटी, सो दैट विल नॉट कंसिडर एज ए वायलेंस और वो लड़ाई करवा रहे हैं.
Yes, yes,
क्योंकि इट इज हैपनिंग फॉर द सुप्रीम कॉज, द हायर कॉज. फॉर जैसे एग्जाम्पल दिया, जो डॉक्टर्स हैं वो चीर फाड़ करते हैं, तो दे आर नॉट हर्टिंग एनीवन, दैट इज देयर ड्यूटी, दे आर गिविंग रिलीफ, दे आर ट्रीटिंग देम. So that will be not a sin. The same as when एक राजा एक मर्डरर को अगर फांसी देता है या जो वायलेंस क्रिएट कर रहा है, तो वो है एक तामसिक एक्टिविटी, बट वो उसको रिलीव कर रहा है, तो दैट इज फॉर द हायर कॉज, सो दैट विल नॉट कंसिडर एज अ सिन. जैसे कई जगह बोल दिया जाता है ना, हाँ ये तो ये अभी ये इसी से रिलेटेड कि एक भक्त को कभी गुस्सा नहीं करना चाहिए, शांत रहना चाहिए, कोई तामसिक वो लस्ट, एंगर, डिजायर, इन सबको कंट्रोल, लस्ट नहीं हो, एंगर नहीं हो, डिप्रेशन, ये सब कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए एक भक्त को. वहीं तो वैष्णव कहते हैं जो बड़े वी फॉलो, जो कृष्ण भक्त है, तो बोले ऐसे ही घर पे जाते ही जो उनके बच्चे भी हैं तो बोले कि मम्मी को भाई नो 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 शाउटिंग, डोंट स्कोल्ड, तामसिक मतलब क्यों गुस्सा करना है. तो बोले कि वो एक जरूरी है. when you are at this mental or parents, if something wrong is happening, they have to show their anger in a subtle way, not violent, in a subtle way. They have to show objection, they have to tell this. So wo galat nahi hai, a mentor or parents or teachers, they have to tell this is wrong, this is right, and show their anger. मन से कोई क्रूरता नहीं निकालनी, पर शब्दों से थोड़ी कठोरता लानी वहां जरूरी है, तो वो तामसिक नहीं है. तो वहां जैसे सुनने को मेरे को भी मिला है कि अभी still you are showing your anger, why it is required. Of course we should not always be angry and showing our anger, but जहां जरूरत है तो वहां दिखाना भी है.
एक्चुअली
हाँ.
मुझे भी इस पे एक क्वेश्चन था कि जैसे अब मेरे बच्चे छोटे ही हैं, वो थोड़े इरिटेट करने वाली स्टेज पे हैं भी, तो जैसे पूरा दिन सहते सहते शाम तक आने तक ना अपना बॉइलिंग पॉइंट एकदम हाई पे हो जाता है. बस वो कंट्रोल कैसे हो,
वो मैं बता रही हूँ. देखो मैं इसका सही जवाब आज मेरे पास है. ये मैं कई समय से सोचती हूँ, मत डांटो ये करो. जब तक 16 ईयर तक बच्चे, जब तक आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, you have a right to tell them what is right and wrong. When they grow, then you don't have a control. That is your, तो अभी आपका ही दायित्व है, बट वी हैव टू टेल इन अ सटल वे. और रही बात गुस्सा आना, बुरा लगना, जेलस होना, ये हमारी मेटलिस्टिक बॉडी का नेचर है. जब तक हम जिंदा हैं ऐसा नहीं है. जो बड़े बड़े भक्त भी हैं और जो बड़े सन्यासी हैं जिन्होंने कई साल कुछ रिएक्शन, उनको भी रिएक्शन से झेलना पड़ा है. आएगा. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अस एंड द नॉन डिवोटीज, कि वो इन चीजों को नॉर्मल लेंगे. हमें ये पता है कि अगर वो आ रहा है तो वी लर्न टू कंट्रोल. We are on a path where to show.
I have to learn to control it when, especially with kids.
Yes. तो
I actually fail, I should say.
जैसे जो अनुजा का है, अनुजा तुम्हारे बच्चे छोटे हैं तो तुम्हारा दायित्व बहुत बड़ा है, तो पर उन्हें सटल तरीके से समझाना, कहना, पीटना वीटना इज नॉट.
नहीं वहां तक नहीं, पीटना नहीं, इट्स ओनली एंगर.
बच्चों को सही गलत बोलना जैसे कहते हैं, और माँ तभी तो दुश्मन होती है. वो माँ और शास्त्रों में तो साफ लिखा है भाई, चाहे मैं भी थी ऐसी, कि कितना ही कह लो कि आज एक मेन और वुमेन साथ साथ चल रहे हैं, कमा रहे हैं, इंटेलिजेंट है, लेडीज आर मोर कैपेबल देन मेन, लेकिन घर गृहस्थी की डोर फीमेल की ही जिम्मेदारी है, वो जितने अच्छे से
ज्यादा
संभाल सकती
ज्यादा
है, दैट इज
more powerful,
because
more
we have a
committed.
patience, we have a love, we have a affection. तो हम जो what your answer is ना for how to deal with the kids, Vidya, you are more liable for your chota one.
Yes,
Prava
yes.
is now mature, you can advise
Matured,
her,
yes.
you can
Yeah,
tell her,
because I take
you
advice
cannot
from her.
you cannot control her, you can you
No,
don't
no,
have,
no, I
तो
can't.
अब उसका अपना कर्म स्टार्ट होता है, जो तुमने बीज डालने थे वो डाल चुके, वो डाल चुके हो। अभी यू हैव अ डोर को क्या कहते हैं इंग्लिश में, आपके पास यू हैव अ कंट्रोल ऑफ योर स्मॉल वन टिल 16 ईयर, शास्त्र बाकी जब तक जरूरत पड़ेगी, पेरेंट्स विल बी ऑलवेज पेरेंट्स, तो हमें पूरा हक है सही गलत बताने का, और बच्चे हम पे डिपेंडेंट होते हैं, हम जो उन्हें कहते हैं वो सुनते हैं, और जो हम करते हैं ना they also follow and adopt. This is very old saying, they don't become what we teach them, they become what we do. जो हम चाहते हैं कि वो ना करें, वो हमें उनके आगे करना पड़ेगा। और अगर वो कहें कि आप क्यों गुस्सा दिखा रही हो, आप ही हमें कहते हो, बोले कि मैं आई एम योर मदर, so you have to tell them nicely.
What I tell my daughter is, when she says that why do you get angry at me all the time, I said यशोदा माता ने भी कृष्ण जी को पीटा था, इतना समझ लेना।
हाँ, तो उस चीज को प्रेज किया जाता है कि भगवान जिस कनेक्शन होता है, तो वो भगवान थे, तो भगवान ने वो हक दिया कि वो उन्हें डांटती थी, पीटती थी, तो जिस भाव में हम भगवान से कनेक्ट हुए उसमें अपने आप को सेट, तो वो गलत नहीं है, वो गलत नहीं है। तो वो गुस्सा करना जरूरी है, वो दिखाना जरूरी है, पर हर समय नहीं, मतलब गुस्सा ये नहीं कि मतलब हमेशा एक मुंह सा बना, मतलब कि you have to show the objection, this is wrong.
Yes.
अपनी मम्मी, this is wrong, so I don't want it, we have to be firm. वहां पे हम बहुत बह भी जाते हैं, तो that is not wrong. So this is clear to me at this age, which is not going to work for me. So कि दोनों बातें सुनते, शांत रहो, गुस्सा मत करो, पर पेरेंट्स की जिम्मेदारी है भाई कहाँ दिखाना है, क्योंकि हमने बातें तो सुनी पर हमें ये नहीं पता था ना, गीता टीचर्स अस कि कब करना है, कहाँ करना है, कैसे करना है,
कैसे करना है, that's
कहाँ
correct.
करना है, कितना। अब जब बच्चे बड़े जाते हैं ना, उनका अपना कर्म है, हमारा काम था पैदा करना, उनको परवरिश देना, फैसिलिटी करना, जितना करना था कर चुके, नाउ उनकी अपनी जर्नी है, उनका अपना,
they have to go in a good way.
वो गलती करेंगे, सीखेंगे, समझाएंगे, we are always there.
Experience, the
But
life
we
will
cannot
teach them.
control them.
Yes,
We cannot teach them now. पर जरूरत पड़े तो yes, in a very subtle way, in a very nice way, we have to.
We can give an opinion and guide them.
Yes. So अभी तुम्हारा दायित्व तो बहुत बड़ा है अनुजा, so you have full right. I guess this will end in a few minutes. It's 10 minutes it says. So shall we go to the next shloka, और मैं एक शेड्यूल करूं और मीठी क्या, shall we come on a WhatsApp? How do you feel? टाइम है?
नहीं, अभी मेरे को तो थोड़ा सा, मुझे
तो
बच्चों को देखना है अभी।
No problem.
है ना, आरती कर लेते, पर हम इतना भी कर पा रहे हैं, ये भी भगवान की कृपा है।
Yes.
मैंने कुछ जब
मैं थोड़ा सॉरी फील कर रही हूँ मना करने के लिए।
No, don't say like that.
ड्यूटी है,
No, sorry.
कि तुम अपने समय से अगर जितना भी निकाल रहे हो तो बहुत है, जैसे भी ध्यान आ रहा है ना।
Actually, hats off to you, Anuja, because you having small kids.
नहीं, कोई hats off नहीं, मेरा इंटरेस्ट है और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है साथ में बैठ के आप लोगों के साथ,
तुम लोगों के भाव की वजह से ही कि मेरा भी वो हो पाता है, एक रिहर्सल और रिवीजन और व्हाटएवर।
अच्छा, एक मैं ये एक विद्या जी ने पिछली बार जब मैंने अपना एक एक्सपीरियंस बताया था, तो विद्या जी ने बोला था कि वो अपना कुछ बताने वाली है
विद्या जी,
नेक्स्ट क्लास में।
I think
WhatsApp पे कर लेंगे।
वो 10 मिनट।
This you want in a recording? It has to be tell in a recording.
You just share and you can send a recording as well. You just share now.
Yeah, actually, I just want to share it. I told you my brother was not well. All of suddenly he got December 2nd week, I think. December 2nd week, one Saturday, he was at his room and he was watching TV and he got blood in his nose. and it didn't stop it. And he didn't tell us also. I mean, to her wife or to my father also. And he was just controlling, and he was doing by himself with the tissue. And from past 1 hour, it didn't stop. Then he called his wife by through phone to come room, and she once he saw, she was so shocked to see one the from nose blood is coming, means from past 1 hour. It's not a joke.
Mm.
So in between that time, he called my daughter also, and my daughter told to take some some nose drops, nasal drops, and she told to go immediately, or because it was late night tea, that is 11:30. So she told, you take a nostril drop as of now, and early morning go for the hospital and take a one BP checkup and like that. And her wife started and telling and shouting, and this, I mean, briefly I'll just keep telling because it's a very huge thing happened. And immediately she started shouting, no, we have to go for doctor only, we'll go to hospital. Then he told, no, I don't have any changes in my body, or I'm not getting any pain or anything. Maybe because of heat I could have getting this blood like that. He himself, he assumed it. And he just went, he took his bullet and he went to medical shop to buy that nasal drop. And once he reached there, and he thought, okay, why can't I go for hospital, because Prava also told to take the BP checkup, and her wife also instructed to go for hospital. Immediately he went very near hospital, and he went for emergency, and he told like that, past 1 hour I'm getting this blood. And they checked the BP, BP was 250.
Oh,
The BP was the 250. And you just see how, I don't know how he was so normal past 1 hour. We didn't know it. Immediately they told, you please go to big hospital. Immediately it has to be taken to the big hospital. And he called my daughter, and why I'm telling, uh, I was so super proud and so blessed to have Pravalika at that time. And she was full, she was with the Anand. My brother name is Anand, and she was guided, and through her we came to know a lot of things. And I was so blessed, means, oh my goodness, oh, Pravalika was with us, so no need of worrying, because she takes care, and she talked with doctor and everything, and he was kept for 3 days in ICU.
Oh.
He was kept in the 3 days for ICU because they want to diagnose for what reason.
What reason?
250
250 is
has
too lot.
raised.
Yeah.
And the blood has to be stopped in the nose as well as. And I just experienced, very briefly, I'm just ending this story very briefly, because this is very huge thing. If I tell also, I'll become very emotional, so I don't want to detailedly tell all these things. But you know, that moment and that time when that passed, that 1 week, I just felt I have done some good things. That's why we made Pravalika to learn medicine, and she has come up in this way. And God has given her place to help in the way, Pravalika, just to close it, in that way. And I just, it cannot be expressed in the words, I think so. I felt
That thing comes as a blessing.
so thankful to the God, and she was like a God in that time.
Yeah, sure, bilkul, ekdam.
She very nicely, because technically she's a doctor, so she knows what had to be done. We don't know what should be done, how it has to be reacted in that the moment also, we don't know.
No, that comes as a blessing. There's something, such things happen, then only say, definitely we have done something great, so we are having experience.
Experience. And after later on, after 2 days, we just they analyzed there is some sinus problem, that the emergency surgery has to be done, and it has done on the third day. And after that, they shifted to the normal ward, and later on, whole night again the blood started leaking from the nose, and he had a severe pain. He had a severe pain. The surgery was gone on 2 hours. The surgery went for 2 hours. After that, whole night he didn't sleep. He had again BP shoot up, and seriously, we don't know what's going on. Seriously, we don't know what's going on. Then later on, as through Pravalika, we came to know there was some mistake through the nurse, which was not given medicine to proper to them, and the there was not given, but everything was we came to know through Pravalika.
Inside, Krishna was sitting inside the Pravalika. He was doing his job.
That is what. That's what I'm.
Yes.
But I actually briefed it very, very shortly. But we
Sometimes
gone
we
through.
feel ki why we are seeing
the
this,
person
why
who
we
is
are
going through
suffering,
it,
why we are having this. So he's giving some messages, and when we
You-
have a faith, then he take cares.
Yes.
Then he take cares.
And they actually the consultant again they fixed the time for again one OT, again one emergency surgery. Again he was fast from past 6 hours. It was fasting, but everything was on time by God's grace.
It's all
Through
God's
Pravalika,
grace.
it all it
May